everyone, my name's Caitlin and welcome to the first day of Bookmas 2025. And to start off with, I want to apologize for my voice. I have been sick for the last week. I had a cold and it kind of made me hoarse. So my voice is better than it was. So I apologize if that's, if it's still not back to 100%. But I really wanted to film this video because I want to share with you that I have decided to create my own reading challenge for 2026. And that, as you might be able to tell from the thumbnail and the title of this video, is the Indie Authors Reading Challenge 2026. So, as some of you may know, I am an indie author myself, and a lot of the books that I read are by indie authors as well. And I just really wanted to create a challenge to encourage people and challenge people to read more indie books in 2026. And yeah, so that's basically where the idea came from. And I created, it is a bingo board, and I will get more into that after I read the prompts. But you can read them in any order that you want. And yeah, so I'll just go ahead and read the prompts and then I'll get into the rules and the other fun stuff. Okay, so the prompts, and this is in order of where they are on the board from left to right. The printables will be in the description box below. The links, I have made a Instagram post-sized graphic. So I'll have the Canva link to that, and I also have a Instagram story size graphic as well. So those will be linked in the description box below. So here we go. So the first prompt is suspense. So any book with suspense in it or mystery, I would accept either one. A debut, so an author's first ever book. A short story or a novella, so it could be either one, but something short, either novella or short story. And then a historical, so could be just historical fiction, could be historical romance, whatever you would like, but something that is not contemporary. Okay, next we have up romance. So this can be any genre of romance. It can be contemporary romance, it could be historical romance, it could be romantic suspense, it could be women's fiction with a romance element in it. Anything as long as it has some romance in it. Okay, and then we have a prompt that is indie book by a hybrid author. So there are some authors out there, and some of them are favorites of mine, who are actually both traditionally published, so through a traditional publishing house, as well as indie. So this prompt is to read one of the indie published books by an author who is both indie and traditionally published. So some examples of authors would be, a couple that come to mind would be Sarah Monson and Pepper Basham, Tony Shiloh. Those are just a few off the top of my head. But yeah, so pick an author who's both traditionally and indie published and read one of their indie books. And you actually could do that for any of these prompts as well. That one is specific. That's a specific prompt, but you could read for any of these. You could read a book from a hybrid author just as long as it is an indie published book. So that, just putting that out there as well. Okay, next up we have, which will be a challenge for some of us, but it is a reading challenge, so I wanted to challenge us, and that is a sci-fi or fantasy. So your choice, sci-fi or fantasy. And then we have new to you author. So this is any indie book by an indie author who you have never read before. Okay, and then the last four prompts at the bottom are specific authors, because this is my reading challenge. It's my channel, so my rules. So I decided to have four prompts challenging you to read a book by four of my favorite authors. So first up is J.C. Weaver. J.C. Weaver is an amazing Christian contemporary romance and rom-com author. I just love her books so much. Then we have Drew Taylor, who again is another Christian romance author, and love, love, love her books as well. And then we have Tawny Suchi, who is another Christian romance author, and she does have a romantic suspense book as well. And yeah, I've read 2 of the books that she has out so far, and I can't wait to read the other 2. And yeah, I love them. And then lastly is Savannah Scott. Now, Savannah Scott is a clean romantic comedy author, but she is a Christian, and she's just the sweetest, most amazing person. And I love her, and I love her books to pieces. So yeah, I love all 4 of these authors so much. And so I am super excited to be challenging you to read a book, at least one book by each of them in this challenge. Okay, so for the rules for this challenge, if I haven't already covered it, this particular challenge is for indie published books only. And I know that can sometimes be hard to tell if a book is indie or not. If you have questions, you can ask me and I can help to find the answers for you. You can also reach out to an author on Instagram or Facebook, any kind of social media, or even an email to ask if they are indie published or if they have any indie published books. If they're an author you're interested in reading, most authors really, really love to hear from readers and want to help readers find books that they would enjoy of theirs. So yeah, definitely there are lots of resources that I can offer. There's lots of help that I can offer if you need assistance finding indie authors. And if I don't know the answer, I'm sure I can find someone else in this community who would have a great recommendation for you. Okay, so number 1, indie published books only for this challenge. Number 2, Christian or closed door / fade to black books only for this challenge. I personally read books that do not have spice in them, and I do not read any open door books, and I have absolutely no judgment whatsoever towards anyone that does. But for the purposes of this challenge, it is Christian or closed door / fade to black. So nothing with explicit sexual content in it is for this challenge. So clean Christian, clean closed door only. And then lastly, there is, one before this, their rereads do count. So if you are a rereader, those books would count, except obviously for the new to you author prompt, because obviously you've read the book before, so that doesn't count. But it does count. Rereads would count for any of the other prompts as well. Okay, and then the last rule is there is no doubling up allowed. So there are 12 prompts and 12 books. And this is the reason why. Because in addition to doing 12 prompts, which you can read in any order, they are not, like, there are no months on them, as you will see. So you can read them in whatever order you would like. You can read multiple books per month. You can finish it however quickly you would like to and read it in any order. Now, this is why I say 12 books, 12 prompts. Because it is a bingo board. So each bingo that you get is an entry into a giveaway at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, at the end of 2026, I will be doing a giveaway for an Amazon gift card, because a lot of indie authors have their books on Amazon. So yeah, that will be the giveaway. And so each bingo that you get, and you will see that there's a way you can get a bingo, you can make it work for you to get a bingo. But the more bingos you get, the more entries you get. So each bingo is an entry and a blackout. So if you fill the whole board, that is 10 entries. So think about that. So yeah, you can send me your bingos when you fill out your bingo card and you get a bingo. You can send them to me on Instagram or at my email. Excuse me. My email will be in the description below. And you can send me that there. Just keep in mind, the giveaway will not be happening until the end of 2026. So that's all for this video. I would love to hear if you're planning to join in, if you're planning to participate. Again, you can participate as much or as little as you would like. But But yeah, if you want an entry, you have to get at least one bingo. Yes, so keep in mind, each bingo is an entry, and the winner will be drawn at the end of 2026. And yeah, so send me your bingos on Instagram or at my email. My email address will be linked down below. And if you get a blackout, you get 10 entries into the giveaway. So yeah, I think that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next Bookmas video. Bye!